And I'm not going to make you wait till the end of the video for me to do the big reveal. The reason why my doctor didn't tell me that these symptoms and experiences and signs were that of perimenopause, this stage of life, is because my doctor probably didn't know herself. Hey, it's your girl, Carmel Jean-François, owner and founder and CEO of C-Fit Coaching. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another installment of the Sugar Savvy Solution. This is where we acclimate the foodie in you to a life beyond sugar. Before we start talking about this very interesting topic, I would love for you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you are informed every time I jump on here. You'll help support my channel and I'll feel like you actually really do. So almost 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with 3 chronic conditions. Some might even say that they're pretty common. What were they? Prediabetes, high cholesterol, and fatty liver disease. All 3 of them in one shot. Mind you, at the time, I was seeing the doctor maybe once a year. And all of a sudden, these 3 diagnoses pop up. And my doctor said, "Are you an alcoholic?" My fatty liver disease. She didn't really question the cholesterol and she did not really question the prediabetes. I drew my own conclusions, to be quite honest with you, as to why I was diagnosed with all 3. To also be quite honest, I understood the prediabetes. I was addicted to sugar and I knew I was addicted to sugar. In fact, I didn't care that I was addicted to sugar because I pretty much looked like this. So in my naive mind, I didn't think I was ill. I just thought I had a harmless addiction. When I was hit with the diagnoses, everything came crashing down and I said, wait a second, I really need to get out ahead of this. Otherwise, I might end up on medication for the rest of my life, and that was not any place I wanted to be. So like I said, I guess the fact that I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic because of my love of sugar. High cholesterol, I didn't exactly understand, but I knew that my diet consisted of a lot of fish and a lot of poultry. So I assumed maybe that's why I was taking in dietary cholesterol and not paying attention enough. And the fatty liver disease, I just concluded that yes, every once in a while I indulged in some alcohol. I was nothing near an alcoholic like my doctor accused me of. I just came to the conclusion that with all the sugar I was consuming, or the sugar sweeteners that were in the foods I was consuming, and even in coffees and teas, you know, the ones that come in the yellow and blue and pink packets, plus all of the shit that they were putting in the protein bars that I had on a very, very, very regular basis. I thought that I was asking my liver to do way too much, and that's why I had the fatty liver disease. Come to find out that all 3 diagnoses, as well as many other chronic conditions, are a clear sign or symptom or experience of perimenopause. Why didn't my doctor tell me? I'm going to tell you why my doctor didn't tell me, and I'm not going to make you wait till the end of the video for me to do the big reveal. The reason why my doctor didn't tell me that these symptoms and experiences and signs were that of perimenopause, this stage of life, is because my doctor probably didn't know herself. And for you women out there who might be experiencing some crazy symptoms out of the blue and don't know how to put it into context, hopefully this video does that for you. I was left with 3 diagnoses, no explanation. In fact, an accusation that I was actually an alcoholic. What? The story ends quite successfully with me becoming a whole food, plant-based vegan pretty much overnight and eradicating all 3 diagnoses within 2 weeks. You got that right. Within 2 weeks, I was back in the doctor's office to review some blood work and even a sonogram done for my liver to see exactly what was going on. My doctor was a bit confused and dumbfounded. She didn't know how to explain to me that all 3 diagnoses were no longer present. My blood test results came back okay as far as my A1C was concerned. My liver was good. My cholesterol numbers were good in 2 weeks. And what did I do? I'll say it again for those of you who didn't hear. drastically and immediately changed my lifestyle, and I became whole food, plant-based vegan. So, how did I put two and two together? Till this day, not one professional, not one doctor came back and told me that my symptoms might be related to perimenopause. It was the research I dug into myself, following doctors, reading the research and the data in books, in research papers, in studies, that I realized that the reason why women are suffering with so many chronic conditions is not necessarily due to aging, but it's very much a cause of us going through this stage of life called perimenopause. And perimenopause will not skip any person within this age bracket that was born with ovaries. It will not. We will all be affected by it in one way or another, in some degree, at some capacity, at some time. Now, the symptoms range from many things, from yes, these chronic conditions, to tinnitus, to heart palpitations, to brain fogginess and forgetfulness, and frozen shoulder. It can appear neurologically and physically. Night sweats, hot flushes. All of these symptoms, plus dozens and dozens and dozens more, are all related to perimenopause. But our doctors don't know enough about this subject yet, and that's why they're not passing it on to you. So it's important that we advocate for ourselves. When something seems a little off, I need you to go look it up. Dr. Google will tell you a lot, but there's also a lot out there, literally at our fingertips, to show us the same reports and studies and research papers that I thumbed through that you can see as well. Now, what's the main cause of all of this? Well, let's take estrogen for one. Yes, other hormones are definitely involved in perimenopause, and they start to decline as we get into this age bracket. However, estrogen, she, as I heard somebody perfectly describe her, as the Beyonce of all hormones. She is the top, she is the queen. But at this stage of our lives, estrogen has packed her bags like that girlfriend who's with us and besides us and taking care of us all of these years. Yeah, she's the friend that we took for granted and never showed gratitude for. So she's packed her bags. She says, I've had enough. But leaving behind in her wrath are all the estrogen receptors in our bodies that make our bodies function as normal human beings. Heck, she's the one that kept us thriving and functioning at the epitome of humanity, which is us women. And now she's leaving, just about gone. And with that, our bodies do not function as well. That's the reality of it, friends. And as our estrogen levels lower, our risk for fatty liver, high cholesterol, as well as insulin resistance or high blood sugar, prediabetes, rises. It turns out that estrogen was our protective girlfriend. She made sure that we were protected from all these chronic conditions, even our male counterparts might be suffering from. But once we hit perimenopause, not only do we catch up to the men, but we surpass them with these chronic conditions, especially with heart disease. Heart disease is known to be the #1 killer of American women, exponentially at a higher rate than breast cancer. Alzheimer's disease, dementia, same deal. And of course, what we're talking about here today, my very 3 diagnoses: prediabetes, fatty liver, and high cholesterol. Not only does estrogen protect, but estrogen also is the key component in regulating all of our body's functions and systems. So when it's out the door, we are left to our own devices. And what might these devices be? Well, there's 3 things that I found in the research that are key for us to maintain in order to thrive without our bestie, estrogen. And that would be #1, our dietary lifestyle. #2, exercise. And #3, I read weight management. But I feel like if we're doing the dietary lifestyle and the exercise right, our weight management kind of just falls right into place very, very nicely. So with that said, I came up with 5 ways for you to thrive during this season of life. #1 is consult your doctor. Let them know what's happening to you and make sure that they too are menopause informed or perimenopause informed, and that they can explain to you exactly how estrogen leaving affects our body and how our bodies function. Also, make sure that they know whatever symptoms you might be feeling, be it the hot flushes or the night sweats or maybe the fogginess or any of the other symptoms that I mentioned earlier in this video or on previous videos on my channel. And if there's a symptom that you're feeling that you have not heard people tie to perimenopause or menopause, speak to your doctor about it anyway. That could be one of the dozens and dozens and dozens less common, but also perimenopause related symptoms that you might be feeling. Number 2, add more plants to your plate. And if you can transition over to a whole food, plant-based vegan lifestyle, I would really implore you to do that. 4 years later, I'm still whole food, plant-based. And although I do experience symptoms of perimenopause, they're nothing like they were in the beginning. So my 3 diagnoses, like I said, are gone. I was getting some serious hot flashes at night, and I was able to make a few dietary changes, like including soybeans into my daily regimen, and that went away very, very quickly. I'm still suffering from and experiencing sleep disturbances. I used to be able to sleep through the night like a baby. Now, if I wake up, God forbid, to use the bathroom, or I just happen to wake up, I will not fall back asleep. That is a classic symptom of perimenopause. Discuss these with your doctor. Your doctor might be able to inform you, if he or she is informed, about hormone replacement therapy, HRT, or what they might just call hormone therapy. They might know a little bit more about that they can inform you so that you can make an informed decision on whether or not you want to take that route. A decision based on facts and science and not based in fear. Number 3, exercise. Exercise, exercise. I can't say that enough. And again, estrogen used to really protect our muscles and help us build muscles and lay down bone. Now estrogen is not around anymore. We pissed her off. She's not coming back. We have to be responsible to build our own muscle and make sure that our bone are just as strong as we need them to be. And how do we do that? By exercising. And when I say exercising, yes, it all counts. Walking around the block counts. Doing some air squats count. Gardening counts. It all counts. However, in order for us to build muscle or maintain the muscle that was there and so protective of us before we went perimenopausal, we literally have to start lifting weights and weight-bearing exercises. And if you can't lift heavy right now, it's okay. Lift light. And guess what? The body will adapt. Our bodies are still amazing machines. And our bodies adapt. We get stronger. We can lift heavier and heavier and heavier. Well into our 80s and 90s. Heck, dare I even say hundreds? Don't be scared of lifting a little weight. If you want to start with the 2 pounds, go ahead and start with the 2 pounds. But I got to remind you, most of our purses, most of the bags that we carry on our shoulders are way heavier than 2 pounds. So I would say leave those weights alone. Let's start at least, can we start with the 5 pounds at least? And we'll work our way up. I promise you will get stronger. Don't be afraid of lifting heavy, ladies. Don't do that. The 4th thing I would like to recommend is to pay attention. Again, pay attention to your symptoms. Pay attention to how your body is reacting to certain things that maybe never reacted to them like that before. Pay attention to your sleep. Pay attention to not only how you sleep, but how you wake up. Are you groggy? Are you in pain? Are you extra stiff? All of those things can be taken into consideration. And then what do we do with all of that? We go back to step number 1 and discuss it with our doctor. And the 5th step is me. You have me as a resource. I've done so much research on this topic. I can probably answer a lot of your questions. The only thing is, I don't have a bunch of initials after my name, but I am informed. I'm very well informed because this topic lights me up. I feel like the more that I know, the more I can serve you. So use me as a resource. My link is in the description. Use it to book a chat with me, 100% complimentary. I'm not charging you for a half hour of my time. I would much rather see you have some answers. And if I can't give you the answers that you're looking for, I promise to be able to give you some references and point you in the right direction. Okay, so I'm here, and I am Carmel Jean-Francois. I am your whole food, plant-based vegan, fitness and nutrition, and right now, perimenopausal coach. I just want you to be savvy about your sugar. I want you to be savvy in this time of life about what's happening to your body, and I got your back. I got your back. So I'll see you next time. Next time, I think I want to dive in a little bit more deeply into sugar and hormones, their relationship to each other, and how it affects perimenopause. So look for that episode, and I'll see you then. Ciao, ciao. Before I go, I don't want to forget to say thank you. Thank you for continuing to support my channel by liking and forwarding this to somebody that you feel that might benefit from this information. And you subscribing to my channel, liking and forwarding is just going to make me know that I'm giving you information that you want and probably even need. It's going to keep this show going, and it makes my heart happy to know that I can be of help to my community. Ciao, ciao. If this sounds like your story, you're not crazy and you're not alone. Feel free to drop a comment about a symptom that you're struggling with. Is because my wow, Kami. And perimenopause will not ski.